Hi, and welcome to Telly Talk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
And if you're enjoying our podcast, please do rate, review and subscribe. It really means a lot to us.
You can contact us on our socials. We're at TellyTalkPod on Blue Sky and on Facebook, and you can email us at tellytalkpod@outlook.com.
So here we are at Final Vows of Married at First Sight Australia Season 12, Episode 37. We're armchair experting.
It's the final vow down. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do.
Strong start, Ben.
Oh, come on, I had to do that.
I'd forgotten that you did that.
How could you forget?
Well, anyway, let's start with Jamie and Dave.
Jave!
They look very lovey-dovey, didn't they?
Yeah, kind of. I thought he looked very anxious.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Because I was getting anxious as they were doing all the sort of pre-vow.
I suppose there was a bit of risk, wasn't there? Because he suspected that she might not continue.
Well, yeah, especially as obviously he didn't see it, but we saw her sister desperately trying to torpedo this relationship. And I was going, I'm anxious for this. And then it cut to him and I'm like, ooh, he's even more anxiouser.
Yeah.
That's a word.
What was quite nice, I thought, was that we finally got to see the weddings, or snippets of the weddings, because we didn't watch them the first time round. And theirs looked really fun. Yeah. I really enjoyed watching their wedding.
In shock news, they seem like the most fun of everyone.
Yeah, but as you say, her sister is not quite on board.
No, and understandably so, to be fair, but I think that this one, of all of them, really drove home to me that I think the producers helped them write their vows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just felt like really conveniently laid out to really build up the tension as to whether she's staying or not. I felt the looming hand of the production team.
Do you think they also helped him make her a photo album?
I suspect that helped. Yeah.
Oh, because I really liked that, and I thought that had come from him.
I mean, it probably did come from him, but he wasn't the only one to do a photo album.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure someone else did.
No, because he made it for her special, and then she had it with her in her own home.
Jackie is going to be sending him some sort of lawsuit. She and Ryan have the copyright on photo montages, shrines, etc.
I can't believe they actually called theirs a shrine.
They worship themselves. It kind of tallies, really,
I
when
suppose.
you get down to it.
Yeah, the clues were there.
I hope that Dave gets a producer credit for going, cue the music, and then they did. If he doesn't get a producer credit, that is robbery.
Oh, dear. I thought his vows were honest, open, vulnerable, and I thought he used some really, really lovely words.
Yeah, they're doomed.
Oh. And I thought Jamie's was balanced and honest.
Yeah. We had a debate as to how we were going to do this, but they both stay.
Yeah, they both said I do.
They stay in this marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to continue after the cameras are gone.
Yeah, lots of different ways of saying they didn't shout at each
And
other.
I was so pleased. I'm so pleased for them.
You are literally bouncing.
I know. I really like them as a couple, though.
Are you going to track these couples afterwards to see how they do?
No, I will forget they exist.
Okay, good. I, no doubt, will then crush your spirit by telling you each time one of them breaks up.
No, okay, there's a few I don't care about, but Jamie and Dave, yes, I'm all for them, and I hope they last forever and ever.
So if Jave separate and become J and Ave, do you not want me to tell you in the future?
Well, you're gonna tell me, and I suppose I need to know, but I hope it doesn't happen.
Okay.
I feel like they're in it for the long haul.
Okay. There'll be old people together with many grandchildren, many tattooed grandchildren.
Yeah, out on the porch with the rocking chairs like Robin Brown always says on Sister Wives.
Yes, sure.
That's Jamie and Dave's future.
Yeah, a couple that don't have a future, even in this show, are Beth and Tajay.
Yes, they don't even make it to Final Vows. In, what did they say, a first ever across all MAFS?
Yeah, I'm sure couples haven't made it to vows before. Maybe they've just never gone, what's the point, on the day kind of thing.
Well, they did have a very difficult last commitment ceremony and dinner party. I can definitely see why she didn't want to go through with this.
Well, yes, because she tells us that she doesn't want to get rejected again.
Yeah, and she'd have to get dressed up, do her hair, do her makeup, sit for hours, because I'm assuming it's all professionally done, because she knows what he's going to say.
Is she legally obliged to get all done up? Could she not rock up in a hoodie and, like, sweatpants and just be like, nah?
Do you know what? That might also have been a MAFS first.
That would have been amazing. I would have been very excited for that. Because they tout a big MAFS first ever world, global, life-changing thing for another couple later, and I'm like, underwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah, TJ wishes they could have ended on better terms, and I just thought, yes, but that would have required you to be less of a dick, so that wasn't going to happen. Done, dusted. Yeah. She seemed nice. He was just a distant asshole.
Yes, she seemed really genuinely sad, and he seemed somewhat emotional. No, wait. He seemed somewhat emotionless.
Yeah, what's happened thus far, I think very early he realised that he wasn't into her, and he strung it along because he either wanted to stay on the show or didn't have the guts to actually be honest with her.
Or he's just a people pleaser.
I don't know that he is. It's the darling. I just assume he's a condescending prick.
Okay.
Yep. Bye-bye. Moving on.
Paul and Karina. Now, this was emotional.
This went careening off the tracks.
Yeah. Now, I didn't think this got off to a great start.
Do you not? Are you suggesting it hadn't gone well?
This is my personal insight. No one else would have thought this. Are you ready to hear my dramatic thoughts?
This is me steeling myself for this revelation.
I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Oh my gosh. It's careening off the tracks again.
Oh dear. It was something about when we see him, he's just talking about he hopes that she can forgive him. He hopes that she'll listen to his apology. Like, his apology is the be all and end all. And if only she would listen to it, then their problems would be solved.
Yeah, if she could just, move past this. I thought you'd want to move past this. It's all of that sort of loaded language.
Yeah.
And he wished she told the group how amazing he's been.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you haven't.
I know.
See my previous reference for DJ. You've been a bell end.
Yeah.
I don't know. She has this haunted look throughout.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when we saw the footage again of him trying to win her round, his method is to just word machine gun. He just talks and talks and talks and talks.
You can see it battering her.
She doesn't get a word in edgeways.
No, she doesn't.
When we saw the footage of their wedding,
yeah,
that thing where he goes, "I'll be your rock," and I'm like, ooh, ouch, that's gone down poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? It did really highlight that this relationship should probably end. And then I was gutted when she's talking to her mum and her mum's going on and on about forgiveness. And then we see all these clips about how forgiveness has played a role in their marriage, even in the short time they've been together. And I thought, oh no, Karina, don't do it.
What he thinks he's in the clear from the pre-Vows talking head. He seems smiley. He's like, yeah, I think we're going to work past it and we're going to be great. And I'm like, oh, sir, I really hope you're not. And I loved it because in her vows, she sets him up and smashes him back down to earth again. It was a glorious thing.
Yes, yeah. Because he details in his vows every mistake that he's made, but I'm glad we can move past it. And so he's like, I'm in. And then she describes it more as ups and downs. And ultimately, she says that she feels embarrassed, humiliated, and disrespected. Yeah, and it's a big no from her.
It's a very direct takedown of his entire character.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, his face as he's starting to realise the direction it's going. It goes from happy smiley face to disbelief to just despair.
Yeah, because as you said, he was super confident.
You had me and you ruined it. Oh, yes, girl.
I talk about mic drop.
Yeah. For future reference later on, Jackie, thems be going down in history words.
Yeah.
I had, oh my God, he's begging. Yes. He's actually begging.
Yeah, he was very emotional and it was very genuine, but I don't think he saw it coming because he was not accountable for what he'd actually done to her.
Well, yeah, that lack of accountability continues. He's a bit more bolshy in the post-Vow talking heads, and he's like, I just want her to try a little harder to move past it. You condescending shit.
Yeah, off you go, Paul. You're all done.
It ends with him crying in a bush and That's where he deserves to be.
Yes. Poor Karina, though. She did deserve a better ride.
Yeah. She got on the Paul train, and the Paul train was lacking.
Yeah.
But I think we can all move forward and forgive him this one last time. Because it certainly would be...
No, Ben, no! Stop it.
Oh, God, she's got the rolled up newspaper. Run! They don't stay.
No, well, he wanted to. She very much left without him.
He stays in the bush. She leaves.
Jackie and Ryan.
Ah, vindication!
Oh, dear.
I need to deal with this up front.
Go on, then.
I was right.
Oh!
She was building this up for her big heroine thing. It didn't turn out that way.
No.
We spend the whole episode of their bit just her building up to this, like, I've written lines that will go down in history. My speech is hilarious and genius, and I can't wait to drop it on him.
Mm.
Were you underwhelmed? I was underwhelmed.
Yeah, I was like, when's the good bit coming?
But they start off, like, quite happy. They're wearing matching fabricked outfits.
Oh, yeah, but don't forget, she shares that bombshell secret with him.
Oh, that's right, yeah. She gave her number to matey she went on a date with.
Rory.
And that's fine, because he didn't ask, so she didn't tell him.
Yeah. Also, though, she gives him a gift and then tells him.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I didn't notice that either. I was like... And he knows it. He's like, what have you done?
Yeah.
She's as unsubtle as a sledgehammer to the kneecap.
Yeah.
I'd like to quote you on
Okay.
this scene. Wow, they're wearing clown outfits. Liv. You're not wrong.
I did think I thought this is such a farce, this whole conversation that they're having, and how fitting that they're wearing clown outfits.
I know. And it's just juxtaposed over her saying things in the talking stories like, I don't feel guilty for hurting him anymore.
Yeah.
Not that she's going to stop hurting him anymore. She just doesn't feel bad about it anymore.
Yeah, she's done.
They're watching their wedding video, and there's a bit where she goes, "Ooh, there's me!" Like, yep, that's Jackie to a T.
What I thought was sad, and I was worried that he was going to stay, because we see him missing her, and she very definitely does not feel the same, as you've said. And thank God for Ryan's friends, because they seem to remind him of the real shit. I was going to say the bad shit, but the real stuff.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
I like that she's just like, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm like, yeah, she's been up front, because she said that in her wedding vows.
Yeah.
I will be brutally honest. And she was,
Yes.
to be fair to her.
Yeah.
I did appreciate having the very distinct reminder that Ryan is still a douche canoe, because he has a sword on his desk behind his laptop so that he can stare at it whenever he's on a meeting call. And then we see him posing with it. And I'm like, that is teenage boy energy 101.
Yeah, you just had your sword on the wall in the living room.
I did. And you know what I don't have on the wall anymore now that I'm a grown-up?
Now that I'm like, that is not in our house.
Now that I've been sorted out by a sane woman. Yes.
But that can live in the garage.
Yeah, I look back. But the whole point of being young is that when you're older, you look back and cringe. If you don't look back and cringe, you're doing life wrong.
But Ryan is quite young, isn't he?
No.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I don't think he is.
I thought, because Ryan went first with his vows, didn't he?
Yes, but we did get a nice sly look at the camera when they set up Jackie. When Jackie,
I know, that's what I was going to say. He went first, and she's just so disrespectful. She's looking all around. She's eyeing up the camera. It's just really disrespectful and rude.
I think she thinks we're on her side.
Yeah, she does.
Like, while she's there in the show, obviously they isolate them from public. Well, it happens before public have seen it and everything. So I think she thinks everyone's going to be on her side. Like, she's the vengeful heroine swooping in to have her big finale. It doesn't really go that way, does it?
No, it doesn't. And then she, on her turn, to be fair to her, he does interrupt her, which would be annoying because she listened to him. But she's just really insulting all the way through. She's talking about flags and carpets. It was very confusing and overall hurtful.
She's going on at him about the whole, like, you're a walking red carpet. But she was the one that was the carpet analogy.
I know. What, sweeping things under said carpet?
Yeah, the carpet, the rug, the bigger rug. It's just... I really don't like her.
I know. I was going to say, I'm so pleased they're done, but we obviously now know about Clint, so that's going to continue.
Yes.
Because we see it at the end of the episode.
That's right, yeah. Well, because they don't necessarily directly show it, but it's very clear it's
Next
him.
time, at the dinner party.
The golf man has gone from one mad person to another.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that he might have quite a weak personality.
I'm starting to think that he's a real douchebag, disguised behind crazy people.
An enabling douchebag.
Yeah.
Who leans round from behind angry people going,
yeah,
and shaking his little fist.
Yeah. Anyway, let's leave them for a minute.
Oh my God.
No, okay.
No, what if Lauren walks in with Ryan?
But she's not going to, because we've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen the little clip.
Also, she won't show up, I wouldn't have thought. She doesn't tend to show up to these, organic things.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh, well,
that word got stuck in my head yesterday.
Okay.
I was just going, Boganic, for like a few hours.
Nice bit of echolalia.
Sorry.
Was it at least remixed? Like, Boganic.
Well, yeah, sort of, because it was Boganic and then Bogan. And like, both of them were... Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, listeners, you've enjoyed that. You may or may not have heard it. Who knows? Can we move on to everyone's favourite couple, Adrian and Athena?
Now, as you touched on earlier, this is the couple where it's a MAFS first.
The most dramatic turnaround in MAFS history!
Nice.
Yeah. This was underwhelming. I saw this coming from about 1 billion miles off, did you?
Well, yeah, there's lots of uncertainty in the build-up for them.
No!
And they talk about the biggest issue being distance between them, between Perth and Sydney.
Basically, it's a complete microcosm of their entire relationship where she just can't quit him.
Yeah. And the editors intercut the footage between them. So we hear some of Athena's vows and then some of his vows, and then we cut back to Athena, and it's like, what is this? This is not how you do the vows. Yeah,
this all, again, another heavy hand of the producers, because it was like, well, one of them's obviously run through their thing, and they know what's happening. Then Adrian is run through his thing.
Yeah, they both say no. This is where our journey ends, says Athena.
And I think that the producers know what they're like and have left them standing there for a bit, knowing that if they leave them long enough, they will do Adrian and Athena things.
Well, and Adrian does, because he smiles.
Yeah.
And she told us in their earlier clip in this episode that she can't help his smile. That's what makes her melt and go back to him.
And thus it ever was.
He smiles at her, and then she's like, let's just try. And so they do.
Well, she sums up. She finds him hot. She wants to jump his bones, and that is the fundamental underlying part of their relationship. There's no substance to it. She thinks he's hot, and he likes a shag.
And he's really good at smiling at her.
Yeah. I enjoyed the theme of it's another sister shitting all over a relationship beforehand.
Yeah.
And it makes no difference.
Cleo is very honest. Now, that will be interesting, because we didn't see a clip of them at the dinner party to come, so I wonder what happens. Do they survive these few weeks?
There is no way they are going to survive the real world. As soon as people enter his DMs, he is gone.
Yeah, well...
He has real F-boy energy.
Yeah.
He is gonzo.
Just someone that lives in Sydney, to be honest. I think if they were in the same place...
I thought you were casting aspersions about all Sydneyans.
No, they just have to be close. They just have to live around the corner.
Who is the nearest person to me, he says.
Right, last couple then. Sorry, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I did.
Go on then.
I thought it was really interesting in the post-Vows, like talking heads where they're both chatting to the camera.
Yeah.
They both look really dead-eyed. And like, why have we done this? This is stupid. We made our decision. Now we're still here. Like, it was really clear. They both look miserable.
Yeah. But they were both miserable when they said no as well. Like, maybe they're just doomed for misery.
Oh my God. They're so toxic for each other.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a Britney Spears song in that somehow.
Yeah.
But you know that you're toxic.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoehorn a song in there in any way that I can. So, I suppose we round this off with the real couple of this show, who don't count.
Well, hang on. We started off with a real couple, too. We started with Jamie and Dave, and we're bookending with Rhea and Jeff. I like this.
Okay, yes.
It works for me.
Yeah, you are more on the you are more on the Jave train than I am.
Yeah.
Rhea and Jeff, however, as much as they don't count because this is an absolute travesty of a show, They are real and genuine and sweet, and as such, I don't have a huge amount to say.
What I found interesting about the clips that we saw is how much they talk about being in the friend zone.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really got that from just watching the commitment ceremonies and dinner parties. They'd always seemed quite solid. And we know they had issues with intimacy and not being intimate, but I hadn't really quite appreciated how friend zoney it felt for them.
Yeah, well, they both talk about how when they first saw each other, each one of them used the exact same phrase, which is, oh no, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And throughout the show, whenever they've like written things or whatever, they've been very almost identical in what they've written, what they've done.
Yeah,
and it continues here. They're almost exactly the same in their vows. They even remark about it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those two people, same personality kind of situations.
Yeah, and it was lovely to watch. It was lovely to watch their recap of their relationship. I was really excited to hear their vows, and they were excited to read them to each other.
Yeah, I mean, on face value of any of the couples on any of these shows we've ever seen, they've got the most real shot, or at least it seems like.
Yeah.
When I say that, that'll almost mean that within 10 minutes of leaving the studio, they'll have, like, I don't know, killed each other or something weird. Oh, this will be awkward.
I just don't see it happening.
Well, no, it's the ones that you don't see coming that are the real heartbreakers. Who would you be more sad about breaking up? Rhee and Jeff? So Jeffrey or Jave?
Jave.
You'd be more sad about Jave?
Yeah.
Oh, you poor, sweet, innocent
What?
soul. You're going to have your heart broken, aren't you?
No! They're going to go the distance, Ben.
They can go the distance.
This is getting ridiculous. No, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm just more certain about Rhee and Jeff. I'm like, they won't split up, so I can think about that, or don't have to. I don't have to worry. Yeah, I don't know, but there's something about Jamie and Dave that I just really want to work for them.
Use their name.
Jave.
Yay! You got to rave about the Jave.
Well, that's it. That's all the couples.
Yeah. It ends not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Were there any surprises there for you?
No, not a single one. I predicted it all. It turns out, if you watch them for long enough, you can predict their behaviour. Jackie and Ryan were a big old bag of crazy frogs.
I think, for me, the unknown was Karina. I wasn't sure which way she was going to go, and I was concerned that she would say yes and then just keep repeating these cycles with Paul.
I think the biggest surprise has been Clint pairing up with Jackie.
Yes, I thought Jackie would put everyone off her.
Yes, and somehow she hasn't.
No.
But, as we've seen, Clint has a high threshold for difficult people.
Yes.
So maybe he just looked at Lauren and went, yes, I'm in the bunker with you, but there is an even more entrenched bunker over there that I can get behind.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was eyeing her up all the time, going, oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I love a bit of that.
Yeah.
That controversy. Oh, it really gets me in the feels.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure his money is really appealing for her.
Yeah, maybe. You're casting some aspersions there.
Well, she was talking about Ryan's lack of earnings.
Well, there is that,
so,
the inference.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that Clint does want to be amazing.
Oh, do you know what? That is it. Yeah, he's willing to hear this feedback and to be amazing. Yeah.
He will do what he's told.
He's going to be someone great, Ben, because he's got Jackie.
Why don't you want me to be great? Why don't you nag me to the end? I'm not asking you to, but if you truly cared about me, wouldn't you crush my soul, Liv?
I'm sure. No, I can't even go there. I was going to try and think of something, but no.
You didn't have the heart to do it, and that's why I'll never be great. Well, would you want to give a rating for this episode?
Well, it was 2 episodes, wasn't it,
Wow.
that we've smushed together.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 6.5.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Okay. I was considering whether you would rate it out of 20 because it was 2 episodes.
Oh, God, I didn't think of that. That's a good idea. Hang on.
Do you want me to give you mine?
Yeah.
I have given it a thoroughly depressing 2 out of 14 men crying in a bush.
2 out of 14.
2 out of 14 men crying in a bush.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie, I'm largely encapsulating the whole season as well because it's the culmination, and this was just underwhelming. It was predictable. There was nothing particularly exciting. I could have given it an extra point because I was so right about stuff.
Even though they told us there's like 2 things that have never happened before.
Yeah, but those
you found it predictable.
Those things were utter bullshit. 2 things that have never happened. 2 people did exactly what they always do. Meh, meh, meh.
All right.
And 2 people didn't even bother to show up. And that's happened already in the season. They didn't even have their own fake vows at home while the real vows were going on. Yeah, it was disappointing. It was very conspicuous how producer-led it all was. I was upset.
Oh, that's quite bold.
And you know how much I love being right.
Yeah, that's true.
It just shows you.
You were underwhelmed by Jackie, that's the problem, isn't it?
Jackie did exactly what I thought she would.
Yeah, but not very much.
No, and I enjoyed that she was so unaware about it and so pleased with herself, but there was no comeuppance. Maybe if there's some group comeuppance in the...
There won't be, because she just doesn't hear it.
No, there's just going to be a screeching, shouty match, and also from the preview we see that Sierra's going to wade in and kick off. But...
And actually, they're all back. I couldn't remember if they all go back or if it's just the couples that stay together go back, so that will be quite interesting.
Yeah, we're not sure. We haven't seen the final dinner party or the sort of pseudo-commitment ceremony yet, obviously. So once we've watched them, because they're back-to-back, we might do one episode on them.
Yeah, one to cover both.
We'll probably do something for them, because I don't think that we can just let the... Because oftentimes...
We've got to do the reunion. It's like the best bit. That's the only reason we watch the rest of the episodes.
We've got to see what this whole Jint? Clacky? Let's see what the crack is with Clacky. Will there be any other recouplings?
Yeah.
Because obviously last year we had Jono and someone else show up. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, but you know what? I don't remember people. I was going to say we've got Sierra and maybe Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a start of something there, wasn't it?
Well, we certainly saw that it looks like Sierra and Athena go at it.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What's your rating out of 20? You gave it 6 and a bit out of...
10. Yeah, I'm going to go with 16 out of 20.
Oh, wow. So in reflection, you're giving it more than...
No, a little bit less, is it?
No. What? 6.5 times 2? 13. Wow.
I can't do mental maths,
I'm conscious that I came across as quite condescending there, but that was
You just
bad
want
maths.
me to be great.
I do. So... What is your score?
16 out of 20.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
It is better than I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's more than 3/4 of the score it could have had, so that's far above average.
It was fine.
Well, then why have you given it a score that reflects it being much better than fine?
No.
Middle of the road, so like 10 out of 20 would be middle of the road average, right?
Yeah.
You've given it nearer to 20 than you have to 10.
Yeah. It was all right.
Your scoring is weird.
I don't know. It was enjoyable to watch. I could have had a bit more, I suppose. It was fun watching their journeys, the bits that we hadn't seen. So maybe that's more about us than them, but...
I feel like you are much kinder than I am. Well, on that baffling note... That's all, folks.
If you have the time, we would really appreciate it if you could rate, review and subscribe. It really means a lot to us. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Toodles.